and drains it. My goodness. Because she's been so sick before that UCLA game. That's how.
The WNBA finally reached its golden moment, and now it's teetering on the edge of disaster. Fans, sponsors, and players are all holding their breath because this could unravel everything in an instant.
Rookie out of Baylor, number 2 in that beautiful seafoam green jersey. Committing the foul, Sophie Cunningham.
For months, the WNBA was basking in a spotlight that seemed impossible just a few years ago. Suddenly, the sport was everywhere. Highlights dominating social media, debates raging like playoff basketball, and attendance surging in arenas that once felt empty. The casual sports fan was no longer shrugging and scrolling past women's basketball. They were tuning in, arguing over plays, and marking calendars for the next big game. Momentum like that doesn't come often, and the architect of this surge was unmistakable: Caitlin Clark. Clark arrived in the WNBA with expectations that were already astronomical from her historic college career. Yet, what she accomplished in her rookie season exceeded even the boldest projections.
Keely's coming back!
She became the kind of attention magnet that drags the entire league along with her. It wasn't just that Clark scored at will or dazzled with assists, it was that she created a gravitational pull. Fellow stars like Angel Reese and Paige Buchers also brought followings, but Clark was the rising tide lifting all boats. Suddenly, arenas were filling, TV ratings climbed, and casual viewers, those who hadn't cared about women's basketball in years, were compelled to pay attention. But the euphoria surrounding this moment now carries a dangerous undercurrent. What was supposed to be the WNBA's golden era, the time to solidify its place in sports culture, is now at risk of collapsing under the weight of its own success. The reason is something far more volatile than injuries or competitive imbalance: labor negotiations.
I don't know how that works.
The league's collective bargaining agreement, CBA, is supposed to be a mechanism for growth, security, and fairness. In theory, it should enhance trust between players, owners, and fans. In reality, the ongoing negotiations have turned into a high-stakes standoff that threatens the entire 2026 season. Discussions that should be private and procedural are now playing out in public whispers, leaks, and speculative reporting, and the result is a perfect storm of uncertainty. Fans have begun to sense the danger. Casual viewers who were drawn in by Clark's extraordinary talent and the palpable excitement of the league are quick to abandon a product that seems unstable. It's not that they don't care, it's that casual attention is fickle. When the conversation shifts from highlights and victories to no deal and season in jeopardy, momentum begins to evaporate. The golden moment, so painstakingly earned, becomes fragile.
Full circle it does, because we wanted to make your dream come true. You've made so many dreams come true. State Farm knew it had been some time since you'd seen Maya, and like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Maya Moore.
Pressure points in the negotiations highlight why this moment feels so perilous. First, there's the issue of perception. The league is offering substantial salary increases and improvements in benefits, a marked step up from previous years. Yet players, particularly some leaders within the union, are pushing for even more. While their demands are not unreasonable, the optics of public disagreement during a peak moment in the league's popularity are catastrophic. Fans interpret this not as negotiation but as brinkmanship, and the narrative of entitlement begins to creep into headlines and social media threads. Now, before we move on, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit like, because timing is very critical.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. My favorite player. I feel like I'm fangirling so hard. Oh my god.
The league was on the brink of free agency, which should be a period of excitement and strategy. Instead, the lack of CBA resolution casts a shadow over player movement and team planning. Every day that negotiations stall, the risk grows that the season could be delayed or, in a worst-case scenario, canceled. Sponsors, networks, and even arenas are forced to plan around uncertainty, and casual fans, sensitive to disruption, begin emotionally checking out long before any game is tipped. Third, there is the human element. Fans are increasingly paying attention not just to scores and stats, but to leadership, communication, and accountability. Criticism of the players' handling of negotiations, even from former stars like Rebecca Lobo, has landed hard. Her remarks about entitlement and public complaints resonate with audiences who remember when players in previous eras competed for far less recognition and pay. The narrative becomes one of self-sabotage, and once fans believe the optics are messy or conflicted, trust erodes at an alarming pace.
Hey, this is special.
Oh my God.
How does it feel to have?
I still feel like I was this tall and freaking out, and I ran across the court, gave you a hug. I know. Now I'm like taller than you. Oh my gosh.
Maya, how does it?
Caitlin Clark's role in this drama cannot be overstated. She is not just a player, she is a symbol of the league's golden moment. Her public silence, whether intentional or circumstantial, is being interpreted by some as acquiescence, ambivalence, or worse, complicity. Fans who once rallied behind her talent now begin projecting fear onto her presence, or lack thereof, fearing that if the figurehead of momentum isn't advocating for stability, the league itself may be on the verge of collapse. This fear is compounded by the stark realities of WNBA economics. Unlike the NBA, the league operates on a delicate balance of revenue, sponsorship, and media rights. While the proposed salary increases are impressive within the context of women's basketball, they still reflect a league that is growing, not fully matured. Rookies earn six-figure salaries that, while life-changing in context, also highlight the fragility of the system. Fans and observers watching from the outside can easily misconstrue these negotiations as greed rather than growth strategy, and the narrative spins quickly. Adding to the drama is the issue of competing interests. Some player leaders involved in labor talks reportedly have ties to rival leagues or alternative basketball ventures. Even if these connections are entirely above board, the perception of divided loyalties spreads distrust among fans and stakeholders. Words like power play, leverage, and sabotage begin to populate conversations online, further amplifying fear that the golden moment may not last. Perhaps the most precarious factor is the domino effect. If even a single game were missed due to a labor dispute, 3 catastrophic outcomes would occur almost instantly. Casual fans would desert the league for more reliable entertainment. Sponsors would hesitate to commit funds amid uncertainty, and momentum would reset in ways impossible to reclaim quickly. This is the nightmare scenario, the kind of risk that can transform a historic season into a cautionary tale. The stakes could not be higher. Momentum in professional sports is fragile, earned over months and years, and capable of evaporating in a single week. Caitlin Clark and her contemporaries have created a platform for the league that has never existed at this scale. The league has unprecedented visibility, engagement, and cultural relevance. Yet one misstep, one mismanaged negotiation, one public miscommunication could undermine everything. The personal stakes for players like Caitlin Clark are immense. Fans project onto her expectations that extend far beyond her on-court performance. She embodies both the potential and the vulnerability of the WNBA's current trajectory. If she can help guide the conversation towards stability, the golden moment may solidify into sustained growth. If not, even the brightest spotlight risks dimming rapidly. What makes the 2026 situation uniquely tense is the confluence of all these pressures. There is the business reality of league economics, the cultural reality of rising fan engagement, the human reality of player ambition, and the media reality of public scrutiny. Each element is interdependent, and any disruption sends shockwaves throughout the entire ecosystem. The WNBA is not just negotiating a CBA, it is negotiating its relevance, its credibility, and its ability to capitalize on unprecedented momentum. Even with negotiations ongoing, the narrative is already shaping public perception. Headlines speculate on standoffs, social media amplifies fear and rumor, and each delay or ambiguous statement compounds the sense of fragility. The league's golden moment, so carefully constructed through extraordinary talent, record-breaking attendance, and cultural attention, faces the risk of collapsing under the weight of its own exposure. In the face of this crisis, what the WNBA does next will define the legacy of Season 30. Every day without resolution is another day for doubt to seep in. Every public misstep feeds the narrative of instability, yet there remains an opportunity, if bold action is taken, to cement the league's place in mainstream sports and protect the investment of its players, fans, and partners. If the WNBA navigates this carefully, the golden moment will will not just survive, it could define a decade. If not, this historic surge in attention and relevance could become a footnote in a story about opportunity lost, a cautionary tale in the evolution of professional sports. So what do you think about all this? Let us know your views in the comments below.